Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. It is a hot one, man. By me, it's humid. For you folks down south, you're probably calling me a wuss, but for here, not that the temperature's that high, but it's just humid as heck. Anyway, today's topic, I have believe it or not, it's a 2015 Coolster quad, China ATV, whatever you want to call it. I picked this up at the scrapyard for $50, and I mean, from a cosmetic point of view, it really looks pretty good, right? I mean, this side, the plastic's all good and all that. The seat's really pretty good. This side, it's cracked, and you know, it's a little messed up, but the back quarter is good. So cosmetically, it looks pretty good. The tires, I mean, they're really pretty nice. So big pluses from the beauty point of view. It does have the shifter there, and I mean the thing on the gas tank. It does have a key switch, but no key. I figured out this was a 2015 because I decoded the serial number, the VIN number, and the 10th digit on the VIN number is an F, and the 10th digit on my Toyota Tacoma, which is a 2015, is also an F. So I know it's a Coolster because that's what it says on it, right? I assume they didn't replace this. So Coolster and 2015. It's a automatic transmission. It just goes forward and backwards. I already sniffed the gas, and the gas actually smells pretty good. So those are all extremely positive things. Let's continue with the positive. From the back point of view, the suspension looks pretty good. From the front, not so good. Front also, listen, and also so she's got some problems. Still drivable, but pretty loose up front. The shocks are played, right? I think you guys could see in there that they're completely shot. I looked over the frame for all the places that like to crack, right? Down in here, both sides it's good, up through there it's good, all through there it's fine. Where these bars come out, right, this and that, all fine. Where the back hooks up, all that is good. The exhaust looks good, the engine looks good, the wiring looks complete, all positive, right? The rack, though it's bent, it's not bad. When I came out this morning, I spent a minute looking this thing over, and it feels like the frame might be a little torqued. So I spent a couple of minutes getting these pieces of angle iron against the tires and running these rulers out. And if you look down here, you'll see close to 48. And if you look down here, you see under 47, right? So the frame does have some kind of bend to it, so that the front is torqued, right? And I'm not quite sure if it's because of the play or what the story is. I do have a set of shocks for this. My the quad out back alongside the shed. has the same length shocks, so that's no big deal. I can replace the shocks. About these front end components, I'm not sure exactly what's wrong with the bushings, and I think no, the wheel bearings look good. It's the bushings on the front that are shot, so I might have to make something on that, you know, buy some bronze pipe and turn something and put it in there, or whatever. So anyway, that's fixable. Once again, I only got $50 into this thing so far. What I don't like is it is kind of a cheap motor, and by that, if you take this off, this is made out of plastic, right? By the way, I took that off because I wanted to see if I can turn the motor over, and I can. Obviously, I'm not spinning it over with the electric starter yet. I mean, it doesn't seem to have a crazy amount of compression. It's also in gear. And now it's out of gear. So we'll have to see. This motor, there's a possibility this motor is yesterday's news. What next? And I don't want these videos to be 3 months long. Some of you guys might be interested in the kind of the frame of these things. Some of the others of you might be interested in the electrical of these things, and some of you guys, you know, might not be interested in these at all. You're just watching out of curiosity, perhaps, or to learn technique. But the key switch, this is a snapping key switch. You see the little butterflies on the end there, and it was in this hole over here. I don't know, am I showing you my fingers? I'm not. Yeah, it was snapped into that hole. Obviously, it was easy enough to take out. From a wiring point of view, to get spark, and I'm almost to the point where I'll be checking that. To turn it on, I just short the red and the black together, and I make sure that the green and the black white don't go anywhere near each other. I have to double check to make sure that this solid black is ground, and that's easy enough to do. It looks like I got a plug up here on the harness, so if I disconnect that, I just have to go to the frame and make sure it's ground. That's the way it should be. This black and white should be the off, and if you short the black and white to the green, which is ground, that's how you turn it off. So you just make sure those two are floating. So that's checking the engine for spark and compression. Those are really the next two things on it, and I don't want these videos to be too horribly long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this one here. Let's say for this video we did a general analysis of the frame and realized that it is bent. We noticed that the front suspension is played. I'm going to start out by throwing that other pair of shocks on there and see if I get some front suspension out of it, or if things are kind of bent in such a way. I mean, if you look at the front wheels, they're kind of still true. The one of them is cocked out a little bit. Like as you look at them, you can see this one is cocked out a little bit. So I guess that's kind of next is you know, from a frame point of view, is pulling the shocks out, making sure that everything moves up and down properly, then taking the shocks out of the machine out back and see if they're any good, put them in there. To me, these China quads have a very, very low value. They're just not worth much. So to be worthwhile for me to keep them in the Hoard or keep them around the Hoard, they have to go forward and reverse. They don't necessarily have to shift, right? I don't need to do 30 miles or 40 miles per hour with them, but they do need to go forwards and backwards. I don't like having to push them backwards or anything like that. Quad like this, as a running quad, if I attach a little wagon to the back, and given that it's only forward and reverse, that's something that I can easily have my wife ride around, or a non-rider, somebody who has very little experience drive, right? You just say, put that in forward, here's the throttle. A lot of times on the throttle there's a screw you can tighten to keep them from opening up too much, right? And yeah, right here, right, if I loosen that and drive that nut in, it'll limit how fast it could go, and then, you know, kind of tell them, try not to crash into anything, and they could kind of ride around a little bit. It beats putting them on a Honda and putting the Honda in first or second gear and having them rev the heck out of it, or bog it down if it's in second gear until it's moving, and then so forth. We're supposed to get some mean storms this afternoon. They're saying as much as 3 inches of rain. So I'm kind of getting what I could get done outside now. These videos and understanding what I'm doing with this rig and junk like that. I'm kind of doing that now. Well aware of the fact that at any point, and look how dark that cloud is, at any point I could be poured upon and I could be running for cover. So hopefully the storm isn't going to smash anybody else up. They have flood warnings out and high wind and, you know, all that kind of great stuff. So it's already, I don't know if you're hearing it in the background, but there's some thunder playing out. So yeah, it's got some storms blowing through. Alright folks, I really want to thank you all for watching and commenting and subscribing. Remember to be safe, keep your feet down, keep your heads up, and get out there and enjoy all your days. Bye now folks. Yeah, there's some thunder. You hear it? So anyway, take care folks. Bye now.